Welcome to Witness to History. Here we are on Sunday, January 9th, 2022. And I welcome you to the beginning of what promises to be our best year ever, right? Okay,
All
can I,
right.
okay, all right, can I,
Right, all right,
everybody,
all right, all
good,
right.
good. Okay,
All
Happy New
right.
Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New
everybody.
Year.
Happy New Year. Well, the Browns win today makes us feel like we're off to a good start. At least we can claim that, all right? As most of you know, Witness to History is an opportunity for Moreland neighbors to get to know one another better. Even when we think we know our neighbors, their life stories enrich and inspire us in ways we never expected. And that's just what will happen tonight as we welcome our guest, Pamela Fletcher. Hello, Pam.
How are you? How are you?
Good.
Hi, everybody.
Now, first, I always offer my thank yous to everybody who supports Witness to History, everyone who's here, Colin Compton, Kevin and Lee Kay, Megan Hayes, who's always with us here with the library, the city of Shaker, and last but not least, John Dutton, who from the very beginning has made Witness to History a real program that many people far and wide enjoy. But my thanks go especially to Moreland neighbors who have been our guests to Witness to History. I'm losing count. I'm losing count at this point. I used to say this is our whatever number we're on. John is better at keeping up with that than I am. But we started in August of 2020. We started in August of 2020. There's room for all of you to tell your wonderful stories. So hello again, Pam.
Hey.
We're going to hear your story. We're going to begin tonight. And as usual, I'm going to start off and ask you about your first time coming to live in Moreland. What motivated you to move to the Moreland neighborhood?
Well, I was ready to move into my own home, and Moreland was an area where I knew the two of my good friends grew up here, Linda Flanoy and Liz Thompson. So I knew that if I came to Moreland, I would have kind of a built-in support system with the Thompsons, because I was coming in as a single mom, and you never know, first-time homeowner, who you might need to call, when something goes wrong. So I said, Mr. Thompson would be a good neighbor to have around the corner. Yeah. So that was part of my reason. And then I mentioned the other day that as I was looking at houses, I looked on a couple of other streets in Moreland. But when I saw this house, it just captured my heart because it was up on a hill. Mm-hmm. And it had a dining room and a fireplace, and there was a pond in the back. Former owner had pictures of flowers around the pond, and I was just like, it was just a done deal then.
I remember you saying to me that it was the prettiest house that you saw.
I thought so. I thought it was the prettiest house on the street. So.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. We're all going to come over and hang out around your pond, when the weather breaks. Okay. Right. I think that's unique in Moreland. I don't think too many of us can say that we have ponds in our backyard. So, that's a really unique feature. So, so tell us just about yourself and your family. And, so often people move to Shaker Heights, because as parents, often the schools are the draw. So tell us about your experience.
Well, the schools were the draw. I grew up on 116th and between Buckeye and Kinsman on Park Hill. Mm-hmm. And graduated from John Adams. And when I was
Rebels, any other Rebels in the room? Okay,
yes.
Yay.
Rebels, Rebels for life.
Yes.
And when I took had to take the SAT before going to college, and I got to take the SAT at Shaker High School. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of a wrap then. So I've lived in proximity to Shaker my entire adult life. I lived on Livingston, I lived on North Moreland, I lived on South Moreland, and I bought the home here. And it was a street that had children, and like I said, with Mr. Mr. Thompson, the Thompsons being around the corner, it made me
I
feel a little
remember them. Mhm.
secure. My son, Scott, my oldest son, Scott, was a junior in high school.
Mm.
So I knew that I wasn't expecting him to be here long, but I still wanted to have a home,
Oh, yes.
for a variety of reasons. And that's Scott. He left shortly afterwards and went to Hampton. That's him and his what they call the Newland crew. There
Okay.
were 4 guys from Cleveland, 2 from Shaker, and 2 from Cleveland Heights. The 2 tall boys in the front are from Cleveland Heights, and then the
Okay.
other guys were from New York. So they call themselves the Newland crew.
Oh, okay. New land. Okay. All
Yes,
right. Another way.
yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Put the two together.
And yeah, so the other picture is a picture of Scott. He left Hampton in the middle of his junior year and went
Okay.
into the Coast Guard. So as they lived all over, he lived all over the country. He's been in Alaska 3 times, 3 tours in Alaska,
All right.
California, Washington State, Michigan, Maine, and Cleveland.
Mm.
So when he was in Cleveland working out of the federal building, he got a special award for his service in the
Okay.
military in the Coast Guard. And that picture is at that award ceremony back in 2013, I want to say.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Now tell us more about your son's experience, and this is your oldest son. Your
Right.
son's experience in Sitka,
Oh,
Alaska.
goodness,
Oh,
goodness.
there. He's been there for a little while, right?
Yes, yes. So this picture is a picture of my 3 children, and Scott, of course, is the oldest. He went to to Alaska initially, and they have 6 months day, 6 months night.
Hmm.
Then he went to Kodiak, Alaska, as a part of that first tour, and then this when he was stationed in Cleveland in 2010, left in 2014, and they went to Sitka. He, his wife, and their children moved to Sitka. And Sitka is like, I tell people, it's like the Miami of Alaska, because
Okay.
the temperature is from 20 degrees to 70 degrees. So that when you hear Alaska, you immediately think frozen
Of
tundra
course.
and just, nice and just the whole 9 yards. But they have a pretty temperate weather.
Mm.
And he went into, when he initially went into the military, he, I think, was looking for a way to get out of Hampton. So
Yes,
first,
that's what you shared with me. He was there 3.5 years.
right, right, you're in the middle of you're so close to the finish line.
Yeah,
It's like quitting the game in the middle of the
I'm
third
not
quarter.
feeling
Who
this
does that?
now.
So initially he says, "Mom, I want to go into the ministry."
Hmm.
I said, "That's admirable, but finish your degree, and that will, put you in a better position." So he came back a few weeks later and said, Mom, I think I want to go to the Coast Guard to join the ROTC just to have my own, finance my education. Okay, fine. How do you argue with that? So he goes into the Coast Guard, and not 6 weeks into basic training, he says, I think I want to stay in the Coast Guard. So I'm just like, okay, you found a way to get out of Hampton.
Yes,
How can I complain? But
right, right,
um,
right. And he
he
followed his dream.
he really did,
Hmm.
because now he is a pastor of
Mm.
a church in Sitka. And truly, they are the only African American family in this church. And they've been there for, well, now they moved there in 2014. So this will be 7 years. Well, not seven, I'm sorry, but math, but at any rate, they've
Hmm.
been there since 2014. And he says that the first Sunday that they went into church, one of the mothers of the church said, "That's our next pastor."
Mm.
And at that point, there were no African Americans in the church, but
How
he's
many are
been
in
there.
Sitka? I mean, what's the how diverse is Sitka?
Sitka is interesting in that it has people from all over. There are a lot of people. There are people in the congregation who have a Asian background. There are people who are from South America. There are people there from, the lower 48, but it's a very, and then of course there are the indigenous, the Inuit people there.
Mhm.
So
Sure.
it's a very diverse group, and they they get along. They
Mm.
do well, and they are very happy to be in Sitka and absolutely have no plans to return. So I
Wonderful.
always say there's a conspiracy to keep the lower 48 out of Alaska because you would not think the weather was as nice as it was. You wouldn't
Right.
expect to have that kind of diversity. But
Hmm.
it's if you've ever gone on an Alaskan tour,
Hmm.
Sitka is one of the ports that you stop in.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
it's very likely that you would go there or,
Beautiful. Yeah.
potentially go there on an Alaskan cruise. So they have a lot of fishing industry,
Mhm.
lumber, and tourism, and of course the military are probably their biggest employers.
Okay. Okay. And so you say they're trying to keep it a secret, huh?
Mhm.
So
It
everybody
seems
doesn't
that
rush
way to
up there.
me.
I've
Oh,
seen pictures, of folks who've been on cruises there, and it is absolutely beautiful.
mhm. It's
That's
funny, I have a app on my phone and I have various cities listed, and so many times in the middle of winter, Cleveland temperature. I have Cleveland, I have Washington, I have Alaska, and I used to have a country in Africa on there. And so many times, Sitka was like the warmest place.
okay. And a question here from Laura says, do they get the half year of day and night as
They
well?
don't get that. What they get extended days and nights. They have it, so it's not the same as in at two, where it really is 6 months on and 6 months
Mhm.
off.
Okay.
But they have maybe during the summer, their day is from 6 o'clock to midnight. And in the winter, it
Mm-hmm.
may be just the reverse. So Scott was saying the other day
Yeah.
that, people are out at 11 o'clock at night doing what they would do at 11 o'clock in the daytime because it's still, it's light.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Yeah.
how the body gets adjusted to that, but they're there. That's what they do.
Well, that's an experience. Well, your son obviously loves it, and his family, and his family. That's
They do.
wonderful.
They do.
So tell us about, what did you do after high school, and tell us a bit about your career interests.
So after high school, I went to Spelman,
Mhm.
and it was just like probably the best decision I ever made in my life. So many of my lifelong friends and connections um, came from my Spelman experience, and even today, it still remains one of my cherished connections.
Oh, wonderful.
But after I left there, I started working at the illuminating company, and I did that for well over 20 years, part of it in sales, and then the rest, part of it in customer service, and then sales and marketing. And I left there and went to a small entrepreneur company, a small business called TCP.
Mhm.
And at the height of or I should say at the start of the energy conservation wave in the early 2000s, they were, the company
Oh,
manufactured energy
hurts.
efficient lighting and was promoting lighting. I think California had $20 million worth of money to spend on it, improving the efficiency. And, it's a small company that had the CFL lights, and we promoted that across the country. So that was just like the greatest job to me because I got to travel and got to do something that I enjoyed doing. It was just so expansive. But I did that until I had my daughter in 2005, and having two small kids under the age that were not in school, and traveling across the country really wasn't sustainable.
Yes.
So I went into the financial industry thinking that it would be a job that I could work until I retired or beyond typical retirement age.
Mm-hmm.
But when the market crashed in 2008, I hadn't been in business long enough for that to be sustainable. And it was interesting. I had gone to a company to offer them long-term or short-term insurance for their employees, a small nonprofit. And they said, nah, we don't necessarily want that, but we'd like to have you work for us. And I'm thinking, you're not listening to me. So anyway, when the market crashed, I got a call again. Hey, we still need you. And what happened is that with the crash in the market, there was the beginning of the foreclosure crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yeah.
company that I worked for, Eastside Neighborhood Organization Project, was helping homeowners keep their homes and deal with predatory lenders and just maintaining their homes in the midst of the Great Recession. So I started there, and it was just like truly a phenomenal, rewarding job where you knew that what you were doing really made a difference in people's lives. And, we had so much fun with it. I was sharing the other day, we would do what we called a tax, and we would go into the lenders when they weren't giving customers the workouts that we thought they needed. We dress up with shark faces, and we go in and throw toy
Oh my
sharks.
goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. All right. I have the word down here, radical. You were a radical group. That's your word. That was your word. Well,
It was a lot of fun.
mm, well,
Aesop is still around, and now
yes.
they're helping homeowners or seniors in Shaker deal
Mhm.
with preparing for the financial changes that come with aging. So
Oh, wonderful.
a little less radical now.
Yes, 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 but always necessary. Okay. Very
Absolutely.
good. Very good. Someone had asked the question, if we could go back to the slide, with your son's family. I think
Mhm.
with your son's family. Someone asked, I think Bertina asked who was in the picture. This picture.
Okay. So from left to right is my grandson, Caleb. Caleb is Shayla is 17, Caleb is 16.
Okay.
My granddaughter, Desi. Desi is 15. My son and his wife, Panya Hutton, myself, and then that's my son's mother-in-law,
Oh,
Evelyn.
oh, nice. Nice.
So that's when Scott was installed as an elder at the church, and we were
Mm.
both there. She's from Cleveland as well. Well,
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
his wife and his mom, of course, are from Cleveland, and we were both there when he was installed as an elder in
Mm-hmm.
2018. And then in 2020, he was installed as the pastor in the church there. And my pastor here in Cleveland at the New Community Bible Fellowship was going to go up to install him.
Oh,
But
wonderful.
because of the pandemic, he wasn't able to
Yeah.
do that
Yes.
live.
Yeah.
But,
Mm-hmm. Reverend James.
yes,
Yes, yes, yes. Kevin James. Absolutely. That's wonderful. What support.
I
Thank you.
was so excited when Scott came to Cleveland. We came from a different church, and I joined New Community, of course, while he was gone. And I
Mhm.
was praying that he would come to New Community. And it worked out that he came to one of our summer quest programs where we have Bible studies for families and friends, for families
Mhm.
during the summer. And by the end of the first week, he and his wife had both joined the church. So I was just
Oh,
so
oh, nice.
excited about that.
Yes, yes. That's wonderful. Now, so your work and your family, I know we have a number of pictures with your children,
Hmm.
with Lewis and Shayla. And here we
Yes,
are. Here we are.
yes,
Tell us
yes.
about
That's
your children.
them at a Moreland Christmas
Mhm.
party at the
Yeah.
community center. So,
We miss
uh,
those. We miss those Christmas parties at the at the community center, but we
absolutely,
still have fun.
absolutely. So there's a huge gap between Scott and Lewis, and of
Mhm.
course an even larger gap between Lewis and Shayla. Um, but was Lewis was born in 2000, and then Shayla was born in 2004.
Okay. You're 4 years.
So
Mhm.
they all both my sons are graduates of Shaker High of the Shaker school system.
Mhm.
Scott actually started at Early Childhood Enrichment Center in daycare.
Wow.
And then their program was so aligned with Shaker until when he left the daycare center, he went straight to first grade.
All
He
right.
went to Malvern for first grade, first to third. Then he went to Ludlow for fourth and fifth. And then his class, when the structure of the school system
Mhm.
changed, he was the first class to graduate from Woodbury as an intermediate school.
Okay.
There's a
Mhm.
plaque in the hallway that has the names of all those students who were in that initial class, and
Oh.
it's still there.
Oh, nice. Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Hmm.
wonderful. Mhm. Mhm.
It's still there. Lewis and Shayla both went to the Woodbury as well, and then on to the middle school and the high school. And Lewis went through Shaker from K through 12. And Shayla started, of course, as Shaker. And then when she got to high school, when it was time for high school, she wanted to do something different. So she is at Cleveland School of the Arts, and
Yeah.
she's a senior. So we're excited to see her graduate this spring and go on. These pictures are of her. She has been singing forever. So
Mhm.
the picture on the left is a part of the Singing Angels, and she and both Sarah Walker were in that organization. And the Singing Angels have been around for now. They were around when I was a little girl. I
Oh,
wanted to be in the Singing Angels,
okay. Okay.
but the man next to her, I, Mr. Baum,
This is
was the founder of the Singing Angels.
Okay, I'm
So
sorry. Your daughter is online over there. She said, "Oh Lord."
So she was probably second grade, maybe in this first picture, and
Okay.
then third or fourth picture in the second picture. She rose through the ranks from the Littlest Angels to the reserve choir, and then they have the show choir. She didn't join the show choir, but she was in the Singing Angels for about 5 years. So
Okay. And she
that
always
was
said she wanted to sing. What are her plans after graduation?
she is planning to go to
Yeah.
School of
Yeah.
Columbia College of Chicago with a
Mhm.
music major.
There you
So
go. There you go. We're
that's
gonna
been
be listening out. We're gonna come to your performances, Shayla. We'll be there. We'll be there. So here's a familiar face in our school district.
yeah, Miss Rashid. Miss Rashid is just such a wonderful,
Yes,
wonderful
yes, we know
person.
her.
We were we were in Jack and Jill together, and that's how I first met her. And then when I had the stroke in 2010, she just really kind of took Lewis under her wings and just became
Um,
such a special part of our family and our support system. And I was sharing that she actually helped me get my car when I was
mhm.
after Scott left, and I, was finally able to drive 4 years after having had the stroke. She took me and we met with her son-in-law, I believe, and got the car that I have now. So I'm just
Mhm.
just an appreciative person, just a great person, and just just a great educator. She
Yeah.
loves kids and she loves just being a part of the school system.
And I think she's at Wood. Yeah, she's still at Woodbury, right?
She's at
Yeah.
Woodbury.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. At
So
Woodbury.
she was at Mercer at that
Yes.
at that original time, but then she's been at Woodbury ever since. So
Yes, yes. When I volunteered at Mercer, she was there, which was
mhm.
several years ago. Yes, yes. And this is Shayla. A little
Yes,
years, yes. More recent.
yes, yes.
Right.
And when she also played violin and played
Mm,
violin throughout her time. And so music is really, they both took classes at Karamu when they
mhm.
were young, and had piano lessons and singing lessons and dance lessons, and just immersed in the arts. And both she and Lewis are very much into the arts. Lewis
Wonderful.
acts and he's a rapper, so they um the thing I love about Shaker is the fact that it's
Yes.
committed to the arts. And
Oh,
so
absolutely.
oftentimes, the arts education gets overlooked, but in Shaker, it really does not, because they have all played instruments. Scott played the saxophone back, when he was in high school, and you know, Lewis did the trombone, and Shayla did violin, and it's just the arts are very much a part of our lives.
Yes.
I
Yes.
appreciate that.
Yes.
And
That's
the other picture is at the Silver Temple, and the our Nathaniel Deck Choir at Cleveland School of the Arts
yes.
performed here.
I've heard the choir.
They are phenomenal.
Yes.
They are a phenomenal choir.
Here
And
we
then, yeah, she was
Does Shayla
so
know you? Did she help you pick out these pictures?
no,
She's seeing them for the first time. We're getting to know you.
no. She was so excited about being accepted at the School of the Arts. We had to go over there before school started, and she got pictures, in
That's one.
front of the school. So she's been excited. It's been a great experience for her and for us. I've really enjoyed having her there, and just the opportunity to connect with University Circle and
Mhm.
various institutions there. So it's been a great experience. And then the other picture is her. Our church has a mime ministry.
Okay.
So she was a part of the mime ministry, and there's also a liturgical dance ministry, and she was a part of that as well. So
Mm.
just some of the things that she's done over the years, but as I
Mhm.
said, it's just arts, arts, arts.
Yes. I wonder if Shayla has studied about Marcel Marceau. It's a name from way back.
Right, right. I'm not
Yes,
sure.
very popular mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. Pictures of your family are wonderful.
Thank you.
So as we move on to, and I don't know if we have any other family pictures. Do we have any other family pictures?
I
Yes.
think we do. We
Yeah.
do.
Here we
So
are.
that is, I mentioned the arts. Every year, the high school has done Sankofa, which
Yes.
is a student-led Black arts program
Mhm.
where they write, they dance, they sing, they just create storylines based on current events and what's on their minds uh, each and every year. So Lewis had participated in that while he was in high school.
Okay.
It was something very important to him. Uh, one of our
Do you know
neighbors,
do you know what they've been able to do since the pandemic? Have they
I
done anything
don't know.
online?
I don't know what they,
Mhm.
and I was so hopeful that they would continue and have a play
Yes.
this year, but I don't know the answer to that. I'll have to find.
Okay. And do they usually do it in February?
It's usually the last weekend of February. That's
Okay, well, we'll have
Black
to listen
History
out.
event.
We'll have to listen out and see if they actually present a program this year.
I hope they do. I really hope.
Yes, I hope so.
And then
Mhm.
on the right, I'm sorry, on the left, that's him. When we started when the Making Our Own Spaces program first came to Shakers some years ago, he was in the first group, and they learned to use power tools and, just a variety of things um, to build things. And they actually, at Hill Dana Park, there is the letter M made out of doors.
Yes.
And that is actually something that was a Moose project.
Oh,
It's
wonderful. Right on
making
trend. Mm-hmm.
making our own spaces is what Moose stands for. And
Oh,
then he's a product of the class of 2019. So
yeah.
that's just before prom.
Wonderful. Well, we have good news. Bertina says that Sankofa, they're still performing. They're going to, they're getting ready to perform this year. And her daughter's a part of the crew.
Great,
Yes,
great,
that's what
great,
happens when we
great.
do Witness to History. We learn updates and, get information from, everybody around the neighborhood. Wonderful. So we're
I
looking
am so
forward
glad to
to
hear
it.
that. I will be there. I will be there. I
Wonderful.
missed out on
However,
the
the
last football
presentation
game.
is, maybe they'll do it online. So, more people will be able to be there. And
Yeah.
who do we have here on the field?
Well, he was a part of the band. The artist is just such a big part of Shaker. I love the band. Just
Yes.
having him be a part of the band, that whole band life. And really in the summertime, just opening my kitchen window and hearing the band
Oh,
practice
yes.
during the summer.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know, I love the drum line. Just
Mhm.
having that band experience was a big part of his experience as Shaker, and something that I miss. I would go to the various games wherever they went just to hear the band.
Oh,
I'm not a
wonderful.
football mom, I'm a band mom. So
Yes, yes. And people get to know each other as our children are in the school district and you see familiar faces because you're following your children, you
it's
know,
true.
it's really a great way to meet people. And so here Shayla says you could hear the drums all the way to Woodbury.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, I don't know what photo we have next, but I want to get into another major part of your story. And there's so many things that you said that you don't recall, but I have a number of quotes, and I'll share some of those a little bit later. And I want to make sure that everybody knows you can chime in, you can pose questions. I don't necessarily have to just stop and then you ask questions. If you'd like to ask questions, feel free to put your question in the chat. And you mentioned that you had a stroke.
Mhm.
You had a stroke. And I remembered, and I had asked you when we first talked, I said, Pam, I know you before Moreland, before we started getting together, Moreland Community Network. And you reminded me where we knew each other from. And we knew each other from Olivet because we were both members of the church there. And I recall when you even worked at ESOP, I remembered all of that. I do recall and hearing that you had had a stroke, and it was a major part of your life, and your children were very young. Talk to us about that, and talk to us about Mary Kay. Talk to us about,
Oh, wow.
how it's been so meaningful in your life, and what you hope to do with the experiences that you've had.
You know, having a stroke, I almost kind of look at my life as before the stroke and after the stroke in a
Your
lot of
sound is
ways.
a little.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but you're kind of breaking up.
Okay, is this better? I hope
Okay.
so. Can you hear me now?
Well, we can hear you, but you're breaking up. It's static. Yeah, it's static.
I hear the static. I don't know what the cause of that is.
I don't
But
know.
as far as the stroke is concerned, when I had Scott, when I had Lewis, I developed cardiomyopathy, and this we didn't talk about, I don't think. And that's
I wonder, John, I wonder if Pam logs off and comes back on, you think that would help? Yeah, why don't you log off and come back on? And let's see if that clears up your sound.
I'll do that.
Okay. Stay tuned, everybody. Oh, look at this wonderful picture. Actually, I know who this is in this picture. These are Pam's sisters and her son, Lewis. And her son, Lewis. More wonderful family photos. Technology is just a wonderful thing. Here we have Lewis and Pam. Lewis, I've gotten to know Pam's family through the photos. I think every young person in Shaker has a skateboard. My grandson has one. You know, they get around real well with their skateboards. That's a great photo. It looks like a selfie here. Oh, this one, I can tell that story. Remember that, John? When Pam told us that that was when he voted the first time. Yes, that was when he went to the polls with his mother and voted for the first time. What a celebration. So hopefully, do we have any other family photos? Your sister.
She's back and I think adjusting her audio.
Okay. Here's Pam's son again, Scott, and her children, Shayla and Lewis. Nice young man. Oh, this is nice.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, it's still breaking up.
Okay, does this make it any better?
Can you
Really.
call in on the phone for your audio? You know how to do that?
Uh,
Yes, very handsome young man. All of her children, very beautiful, beautiful family. Technology is great until it's not. Oh, these are church members, a growth group in New Community. I only know because I recognize one of the people in the group that, because I was there in New Community for a few years, going to church with my daughter Miata. So I got to know a few people here and there. Actually, Pam shared with me that my granddaughter and her daughter, I think it was, or her son, were in a growth group together at New Community. So there were different ways that we crossed paths without my recalling, you know, where it was that we knew each other before we discovered that we both live in Moreland. I really did not know that that Pam lived on Menlo until we started having our Moreland Community Network activities. And she'll have to come back and let us know who's in this picture. We know who's at the end of the line. And one of the things I didn't know if we were going to get back to this point, I mentioned that both Pam and I were members of Olivet Institutional Baptist Church. And one of the things that she reminded me of was that she had the opportunity and responsibility of giving the announcements in church. And so then I know that that had to have been one of the ways that I knew Pam, because you had to be very special to be able to have the responsibility of giving announcements in the church from one Sunday to the next. So she reminded me of how our paths crossed then. But I'm hoping that she comes back on. She has such a story to tell about the support that she received after she had the stroke, and how it is that her work and her connections through Mary Kay is something that I really just did not know would occur in a business you know, like Mary Kay. And what is she? Did her sound come back on? No.
Okay, is this
Okay.
better?
Yes. Perfect.
Great, great.
All right. So I was telling your story, but I can't tell it because it's your story. All right.
Appreciate you filling in some blanks for
Yeah.
me.
Yes. But I'm going to lead us into this story a little bit about how you shared that you had been living in your house for several years. Okay, I'm just going to say that much. And you take the rest of it and tell everybody how well
So,
known you were in the community. Let me put it that way.
so I moved in my house in 1990, 1993,
Okay.
1990, 1993, 1992, 1992, August. And I was involved in a variety of things at the time, but you know, my dad was a homeowner and he was very particular about his home and he wanted to make sure that I carried on that tradition. So I was always, you know, planting flowers in the yard, making sure that the house looked nice. And, you know, he would take care of the yard for me to make sure that it was just well maintained. He just never wanted it to look like, because I was a single woman, that my house didn't look up to par.
Right.
So I'm doing this from 1992 on. And when I had Shayla, my next door neighbor says, I'm looking for a babysitter. And she says, well, why don't you ask the lady across the street?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, I think I may have seen somebody at her house in passing, but I had been here all that time and I really only knew my neighbor next door on either side, and there was a family across the street, and I knew them. Those were the only people that I knew on the street. So when I met my potential babysitter, we had this great conversation, and she says, so where do you live? And I said, I live across the street. She says, really? Where? I said, I live next door, and I described my house. She says, huh? I said, yeah. She says, that house is empty. I said, no, I've been there for, at this point, what, 10 years, almost 10 years. And she says, you gotta be kidding me. I said, no, I've been there all the time. I said, gee whiz, planted flowers every spring, every summer. You didn't notice that? And she was
That's
like, I thought that house was empty. So she goes to her neighbor on the left and she says, hey, did you know anybody lived in that house across the street? And her neighbor says, nobody lives there, the house is empty.
Well, you know, there's something to be said about neighbors who are not nosy. Okay, so okay, let's say that that's why they didn't notice that you were there.
Oh my gosh, nobody, the three of them, she asked her neighbor on the other side, and the other side said, no, nobody lives in that house.
Oh, that's
So,
interesting.
needless to say, I mind my own business as a neighbor.
Yes, but it sounds like it's a real gift once you did get to know your neighbors.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. She ended up, Eartha Kennerly, that's her in the picture next to the red house. She was just an incredible, incredible gift. She was, you know, the scripture says that a close neighbor is better than a faraway brother.
Oh,
And
oh,
she was truly a close
I
neighbor.
understand that. I can attest to that for sure.
Oh my gosh, she was such a neighbor. She took care of my children. She was just there when I was between jobs, just as a comforting person and just an encourager. When I had the stroke, and I mentioned it earlier, her daughter was the first person there to help me even before the rescue squad got there. She was truly a sister friend. And I thank God that I got to know her. I was sharing that for the time that I had lived on Menlo prior to meeting her, I had never crossed the street. There was never a reason for me to cross the
And those
street.
of us who know Menlo know that it's not It's only about 2 steps. I mean, it's not a really wide street. All
It
right.
really is not. It really is not. It's not at all. But it's when I met her and we became friends and I could go across the street, it was just like the earth had opened up for me. It was just such an incredible experience to have a neighbor that I could visit.
Yes.
There was a time just before I had Shayla that I was really considering leaving the Moreland area because I was working in Streetsboro.
Okay.
And it would have made sense to be there because it would have
Right.
been just closer.
Sure.
But I am so thankful that I got to know Eartha as a neighbor, her daughters, her grandchildren. You know, we just became family and friends, and just she passed in 2019, and it was just a loss. She died in the spring of 19, and my mother died in the fall of 19. It was
Oh,
just
wow.
a devastating year for both me and my son. He often talks about how he misses her. And you know, just a beautiful, beautiful woman who connected me with the street. Because if you notice in the picture, those are children she had a daycare. And so many of the kids in the Moreland area she knew because of the daycare, especially the children on Menlo. And even to this day, the connections that I developed because of her are just so important and so strong. She just connected me to the street, and she was truly, you know, she knew everybody, and everybody knew her. So I miss her dearly.
And we have Sharon here also lives on Menlo. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, and Colin's saying I've heard her name mentioned many, many times by others as well. Wow. Eartha Kinnerly.
She was just a great, great person.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So so let's, I don't know where we are in terms of our pictures. Where are we going? Because I want to get back to where we were talking. Oh, you had mentioned that here's Eartha. This is a picture of Eartha, right?
Right.
Okay. Yes. Yes. And this is her daughter?
Yes.
Okay. Eartha and her daughter. She looks so familiar. I want to. Oh, okay. Yes. We're going to our Mary Kay story.
Okay.
Okay. Let's talk about our Mary Kay story, and let's talk about your recovery, your experience, and how people supported you.
Okay. So when I had stroke, I always say February 24th, 2010 at 8:15 in the evening. And as Shayla was writing her college essay, she recounts the story as well. Suddenly, as I was reading to her, my words didn't sound the same. And, you know, I realized at a certain point that I was having a stroke, and that I had had a stroke. And as I got in the ambulance and we were on our way to the hospital, I just said, well, Lord, we're going on a stroke journey. And you know what that's all about. So in recovery, the stroke left me paralyzed on the right side. My legs, my arms, my speech were all affected. And recovery was work. It was work that took years. It actually took years. But I am so thankful that I had support, because nobody does anything by themselves. I had my church group. I had my beautician, my hairstylist, and a little bit later on, I had my Mary Kay sisters. So my church was there in just any way that you could possibly think of. They were there to support me. And then my Jack and Jill sisters, I didn't mention them, but they just provided a month. They not only brought meals, but they had a cook prepare meals to just, I mean, just
yes,
tremendous support. And
And
as I was recovering,
Mhm.
my I can remember very clearly when walking to the end of the driveway. My house is on a hill.
Mhm.
Walking to the end of the driveway was a big deal. And then walking to the corner was a big deal. And getting to Pennington was a big deal. I'm the second house from the corner of Scottsdale and Menlo. And each of those were just like milestones. And my hairstylist was at what has been Phenomenal You on Chagrin near Warrensville Center Road. So a big part of my therapy was actually walking to the bus stop, getting the bus, and then just being encouraged by the people in the salon and just not giving up,
Yes.
just not giving up. And
Mhm.
they were so supportive of me. When I started my Mary Kay business, my hairstylist was the first person to host a party for me.
Oh.
And
Mm.
my new community family was just always there to encourage, to pray for me. I was a part of the prayer ministry, and just being able to support other people in their needs was therapeutic for me. And they looked at me as being therapeutic for them. But I
Yeah.
just
I'm
thank
sure.
God that we were able to take that journey together.
Mm.
And once I regained a certain level of ability, um, I was going through a divorce, and a friend of mine asked me about Mary Kay.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay, you are the fourth person to ask me about Mary Kay. Maybe I need to consider it over a
Mhm.
period of years. And when I started my Mary Kay experience, my now director had invited me to join. She was the third person to ask, and I turned her down because I was doing something different, I thought at the time. But she hosted classes on Thursday evening, and I was able to go to the class and just really take advantage of all that Mary Kay has to offer.
Mm.
And I share with people that Mary Kay women are, first of all, Mary Kay's motto is God first, family second, and career third.
Mhm.
And even before I joined the business, once I learned the motto, I embraced that
Mhm.
as my frame of reference for life. God first, family second, and career third. So when I joined, I was able to regain confidence in myself as a woman. I was able to learn business skills that I didn't have before. I'd always worked for someone. I had never been an entrepreneur. And really, that was the thing that frightened me about it in part because I didn't think I would be successful.
Mm.
But Mary Kay provides just tremendous training,
Wonderful.
tremendous
Mm.
support, and it is a product that people love. And just the whole fact that you can, my daughter-in-law in Alaska can be my customer
Yeah.
and my on my team. There are no
Uh-huh.
limits to who you can have or where you can have uh, team members or
Mhm.
customers. So it's just a great organization. I probably said some things that when we were talking that
Mhm.
I didn't mention, but just the fellowship, the go give spirit of women helping others win, and the idea that it's not a competitive environment in that, you know, you can have whatever Mary Kay offers. It's just a matter of you doing the work. So it's not as if, our unit, the unit that I'm a part of is a Cadillac unit, which means that we have sold a certain amount of product. We have a large enough team that we have earned that Cadillac.
Yes, that
And
pink
people
Cadillac.
people are aware
Yes.
of the Cadillac, but they don't know what's involved.
Here we are. There's the
So
pink Cadillac.
that's me in front of the pink Cadillac. We
Yeah.
have a couple of different opportunities to get together. We have, I mentioned the training, we have training on a weekly basis, then we have training on a quarterly basis. And at the end of the year, we have a phenomenal celebration. And at that celebration, you have a combination of the Emmys, the Grammys, and whatever other award show you want to think
right.
of. Yes, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't include pictures of me in formal wear at our celebrations, and it's just a great time where you are rewarded for whatever it is that you do. And it was just, for me, when I had these children and then found myself in a situation where I couldn't necessarily work for somebody else, it was so important to be able to have that flexibility and ability to just work at my own pace and have my own business. And the women that are in the organization are just so super supportive. So the picture that you have there is a picture of my current director, Laura Dias, along with two other women.
Now, which one is she?
Laura is the African-American woman.
Okay.
With
the far right.
The far right, yes. Who asked me to begin with.
Oh.
And then the other lady, the other director, the two ladies in the maroon suits or mauve suits are directors.
Oh, okay.
In the middle is the other lady's daughter, and then myself. And just being able to develop friendships with people across the business has just been just rewarding. And to have people that you met remember you is amazing. That's Laura next to me in the red, and what she's got on the black and I've got on the red.
Wow.
But the lady in the other picture I mentioned is like my my Mary Kay icon. She's one of our national directors, which means that she's got a team and she's really part of that top 1% in the company. And I have a training tape that she made years ago, and it's something that just inspired me and kind of endeared me to her. So I've listened to the tape so many times. When I knew that she was coming to Cleveland, that was at our Cleveland convention a couple of years ago, I got a chance to actually meet her.
Oh, wonderful.
And she took the time to hear me talk about how much I thought of her, but then also I shared with her my story about the stroke, you know, my desire to do more in the business, and she listened to me and she prayed with me right there. It was just such a person-to-person moment that you don't have often in most major industries. I mean, the idea that the president of the company would spend time to hear you talk and actually pray with you is not something that you expect in corporate America.
Well, and she probably doesn't do that with everybody.
Maybe not.
No, I mean, this is a testament to you.
But it was just such a special time, a special moment. You know, just the encouragement that is so commonplace within Mary Kay, the Mary Kay sisterhood. It's incredible.
Yes,
it's a very empowering environment.
I want to read just a couple of these comments. Christine Clausen said, "Oh my God, oh my goodness, Miss Pamela, that is a testimony." And then Laura says, Shayla, this picture looks like you. I think it might have been the picture where you were standing next to the Cadillac." And then she says, "Gorgeous Pamela." I don't want to miss any of these. Then Sam Hoover, "Congratulations on the Cadillac." and all the other things you've done to have such a beautiful family, Erlene and Sam Hooper.
Thank you.
And then Shirley Jones says, congratulations, Pamela. Keep up the good work. Thank you for sharing your testimony. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, yes,
Thank
you're an
you.
inspiration. You're an
This
inspiration.
this picture of the group of us is one of our regular meetings that we would have before the pandemic, obviously. And you see Vicky Elder in the back
Yes.
there.
Yes, hey there.
So we've been able to just share the Mary Kay business with a variety of people, and you know, neighbors and friends become friends. The lady in the other picture with me, we're doing a skincare challenge, and that's kind of like the one of the foundational products in the business. A lot of people will say, "Oh, I don't wear makeup." Well, you know, we all have skin, and we all need to take care of it. So we've
You're
got
talking
products.
to me, huh? I always say I don't wear makeup, I only wear lipstick.
So many people say that, but the skincare is just like the essential thing because we all need that. And
Okay.
the lady on the on in the center picture and I were just sharing. She had started her skincare journey, so it's just an enjoyable way to get to know people, enjoyable way to help people, and you know,
there's
to meet
somebody,
people.
there's one of our neighbors.
I was just going to say,
Yes, we'll go right ahead.
I was just going to say, you know, it
Yes.
has been such a phenomenal experience until, you know, my neighbor Rhonda Wright. My God,
Rhonda.
my gosh. Rhonda and I started out listening to Little Fires, and we the book about Shaker, we were having that whole discussion. And I would talk about Mary Kay. She said, well, let me try this, let me try that. Okay. So we were in the pandemic, and she was thinking, well, you know, I don't know what's going to happen when school starts. The kids may be in and I may be out, and I might need some flexibility. So she started her business, and Rhonda is just a rock star. We all know this. We all know this.
Yes,
Rhonda
we
is
do.
just a rock star in the neighborhood, in the community. She, you know, she had a display at the historical museum in December, in the fall of last year. She is just a rock star. She's a rock star wherever she goes. And
Oh,
that's the thing. So oftentimes, you know, the idea behind Mary Kay is that if you're a leader anywhere, you can be a leader here. And so many times we just need that encouragement to bring that those leadership skills out, and an environment where you can fail forward. So many times, you know, if you don't do well, there's a punishment behind it, but that's not the case with Mary Kay. And it just is, you know, just watching her just bloom, blossom, grow, just be the phenomenal woman that she is just such a great experience.
so Rhonda, your ears must have been burning the other day, because this is not the first time I'm hearing that you're a rock star. That's wonderful. What a compliment. What a compliment. And I'm going to read a few of these comments here so we don't miss anything. Laura says, Pamela is such a phenomenal woman. Her story and her testimony is something she should and will share to many. I watched her recovery from stroke to joining the team. She is an asset to everything she touches. We can feel, we understand that just by your story today. Let me make sure I don't miss anything here. Please share about the WIT class.
Okay.
The photo was shared when you signed off to rejoin. Oh yes, okay, right.
So
Talk about that.
Tri-C offers a program called Women in Transition.
Okay.
And it's been around forever. Well, not literally forever, but since the 70s for sure, because I remember hearing about it then. And as Lewis was graduated from high school, and my mother was in a nursing home, and my daughter was in her high school years, it's like, a transition is coming. You just don't know what, you don't quite know how, or how to prepare for it. So,
Okay, the Women in Transition group was a group that we connected with, and the lady in the front, Paula Atwood, was our instructor. And it was just such a great experience to connect with women who were all looking for something different, something more in that point of transition in life. And even though our class ended in the fall of 2019, we've continued to keep in touch with each other.
Oh, wonderful.
So it's been a great, great job. Yes, she is. She is, Lee. She's a great person too.
Oh, okay. I don't want to miss any of these comments. And Sharon says she's looking forward to meeting you, neighbor. Okay, you all are going to have to get together.
Yes, we do.
And
Yes, we
Virginia
do.
adds, Pam, you are a wonderful woman of God. Thanks for sharing your story with us. God bless.
God bless you. God bless you. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Ah, I see Stacy there. So my son is in here.
Hey, Ma.
Now, this says, thank you for sharing your story. You are an awesome woman. I am looking forward to meeting you. Ev, I'm not sure. EVINP? We'll all
Well,
have to meet.
same here.
Yes.
Same.
Oh, look at this beautiful picture. Now, where are we on our pictures, John?
I think that's the last one.
Oh, well, that's a beautiful picture. Oh, Pat Landsey. Oh, hi there, Pat. Hi there, Pat. That's right on Nicholas. That's right on Nicholas. Here we are.
There's a few that we skipped over while
Oh,
she was
yes.
gone.
Now we'll go back to a few where I was filling in and perhaps not accurately, but we'll go back to a few pictures that when you were working on your sound
Okay.
went over, and then we'll wrap up. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you told a story about it. In here.
Yeah. These are my Spelman sisters, Andrea and Linda. And Linda was on Ludgate when I first moved here. So that having her in the neighborhood was just a great, having her as a neighbor was a great experience.
Now, is she in the middle? Is she the middle picture or
She's the middle picture.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The middle picture. And she's gone across the country and back, and we're still just as close as we were when she was around the corner on Ludgate. And then next to me in the first picture, my girlfriend, my dear friend, Andrea Sims. Andrea was just a tremendous, tremendous woman, mother. She worked in so many places, so many people knew her, just very involved in the community. She found out that she had breast cancer at an early age, back in the early 90s. And she went through chemotherapy and the whole treatment, and she was cancer-free for a number of years. And then in 2017, she, realized that she was ill again. And we found out that she had pancreatic cancer.
Oh, no.
She was such a tremendous person until all of her friends, really from across the country, just rallied around her. We had a prayer call that we would gather every Monday to just pray for her. And she continued to live life to the fullest in the midst of her cancer journey. I used to say she was like, where's Waldo? Because you never knew where she was going to be. If there was a concert in Chicago or the jazz festival in, wherever, you might find her there. She was originally from LA, and she, as she was dealing with pancreatic cancer, cared for her mother until her mother until her mother transitioned. And after her mom transitioned, she, June of 2018, transitioned. But this picture was just a celebration for her. Just a few months before she passed, her birthday was in April, and we all got together to just celebrate her. It was just a group of friends from across the community that just gathered to celebrate her, and she was just truly a phenomenal woman. And she made dealing with my illnesses easier because she gave such a great example of being transparent and being so open and just allowing us to learn from her experience. And when I talk about, think about my journey, one of the things that I would really love to do is just provide the same type of support for stroke survivors as well. I was just talking to a friend of mine earlier today, and she was sharing with me that a friend of hers who was 46, which is relatively young, who experienced the stroke. And, oftentimes the support systems are designed for people that are older. And when I shared with you that when I had the stroke, I got rid of the mirrors in my house because I didn't want that image of me to be the image that I grew accustomed to seeing every day. And just finding ways to support others who have had that same experience is something that I look forward to doing.
And I'm sure you will. I mean, you seem to be someone who, once you set your mind on something that you're going to do, you will do it. So, and I'm sure many, many people will be there, to support you.
I look forward to that.
And
you mentioned
this was your growth group.
Yes, yes.
Yes, that's good.
We were helping at, just having women that can walk alongside you, pray with you, pray for you, that you can pray for, and just to continue to just learn more about the word and just experience God in a different way is really one of the blessings of life and one of the blessings of my church. Right now, I'm leading a group of women and we're dealing with insecurities. So our church has about 50 different growth groups for men, for women, co-ed that deal with a variety of subjects. And just having those experiences where you do life with people just makes religion not something out there, but something that's practical and real and tangible and valuable. And so I just really appreciate, like I said, the support that my church provided while I was dealing with the stroke, and just in raising my children, and just life, just truly doing life together.
I had mentioned to you when we were talking the other day that you have a ministry. I mean, you are. Just listening to you talk. As I was going over my notes today, to be really honest, I said, am I going to make it through Witness to History this evening? Just your words, you're such an inspiration, and just the community of people who just love you. That is not by mistake. It's because of who you are. It's because of who you are and what you give. And I want to go back to some of these notes here. I don't want to miss. I'm going to look all the chats. Where are we? Laura says, oh, Shalina. Well, Mel, Gwen, and Tina. I think that's where we left off. Or Latrice. Latrice, thank you for sharing your story. I am blessed to call you sister and friend. And then Mel, Gwen, and Tina say, it's a blessing to hear your story. May God continue to bless you and your family And Shalina says, my Pam, you are amazing. I am excited for you to have the opportunity to share your story and life with us. May God continue to bless you and use you for his glory. And then Laura, she is such a beautiful woman and friend. And so, and then Laura says again, yes, she does have a ministry. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then Shirley says, amen. And we're going to go back to a slide that
Okay.
that you can explain to us and what that means to you.
Okay. Okay. Ambition is the path to success. Persistence is the vehicle you arrive in. And I don't think of myself really as an ambitious person, but I do think that there are things that I'm called to do, and I want to be successful at them. And persistence really is the way of accomplishing them. And I think my Mary Kay journey has really taught me more. As much as I used to say I was stubborn, but now I think persistent is a better word.
Okay. A little bit more positive.
And just not quitting, not giving up. And then below there, the picture is just a picture of a Mary Kay display for one of my events. And just the ability to make things beautiful and interesting and valuable is just a positive part of the Mary Kay experience.
So I think at one point I was talking about how, we have our Moreland stories. I just love Witness to History because it's just such a gift to all of us to hear each other's stories and not have someone else tell the story for you. I'm so happy you're my neighbor. I thought about just today, something came to me and I said, we are Moreland. We are Moreland. All of the gifts that we have and all of the ways that we're able to share, just enrich us and make us feel good that we are neighbors. And I am so thankful, Pam, that you were our guest this evening, because as we see, so many people have chimed in, so many people are here, and you have so many friends, and it's certainly not by mistake, because of who you are, and what you have done for so many just by being who you are. And so we're going to look out for, your next venture. You had mentioned to me actually in 2022 that you were going to start the, support group. So we'll see. No pressure. And Iris says, thank you for sharing your life story. You are truly an inspiration, Pam.
Praise God. Praise God. Praise God.
I don't know. I can send you, my notes, because there were so many things that you said. There was one point that I do want to bring back to your attention that you said that at one point, maybe we were at a Moreland community meeting, and you said there was a man who recognized you. Can you tell that story quickly, and then we will close?
We were at when we had our meeting at Shelton Park this summer, and a gentleman came up to me and he said, "I know you." He said, "You're my neighbor, and you had a stroke." And I said, "Yeah." And I didn't know him, but he lived on my block between Scottsdale and Hampstead. Yeah. And he said, "I used to watch you and walking and just watching you walk. I talked about how going to the bus stop to the hairdresser was a big deal and a big part of my therapy. it really helped me to just the necessity of persisting just really helped me to walk better. And even now, you know, as I walk, you can tell that there's a difference there. But just the ability to walk is just a gift. And it was, you know, he talked about how he saw me and the children. We used to take, when Shayla first started singing Angels, we would walk up to Kinsman and catch the 14 bus and then get the health line up to 36 in Euclid, which is where the Singing Angels were located at the Masonic Temple. And we would do that every Saturday. And then if we needed to go somewhere else, we would get on the bus and go there as well. So just, you know, he watched me do that. And, you know, I had no way of knowing. But then he recognized that we went from riding the bus to me driving the car. And from me driving the car to my son also driving, and just having neighbors that are watching you is just, you know, it's a blessing.
Yes.
It's a
And what
blessing. You
you
don't
said,
know who you're impacting.
yes. And you said, and I quote, you never know who's rooting for you. You never know
So
who's
true.
praying for you. You never know who's praying for you. Yes,
So I
God.
thank my Moreland neighbors for just, you know, we watch out for each other. We care for each
Yes.
other. And just we don't know who's blessing us. We never know whose prayer was the prayer that got you through that day or got you through that experience. But just having neighbors, you know, part of what I did was just walk the neighborhood. And as I'm walking the neighborhood, I'm praying for my neighbors and praying for our safety and praying for our success as a neighborhood. You know, you never know who's praying for you.
Yes. Well, you're a blessing to all of us. You are a blessing to all of us. Thank you, Pam. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
this
you
has
for
been
just the
absolutely
opportunity to share. And you know, I didn't think that I had anything.
wonderful. Oh. All right. Well, we will dispel that myth. All righty. You have so much, and we're all so enriched and inspired by you. And so thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. Does anyone want to chime in and, you know, unmute yourself and say a couple of words here? We are amazing, Moreland.
I do.
Yes.
Hi, Mel.
No.
Hi, Pamela. Thanks for such a
Hi.
wonderful story. And when you talked about walking, I can relate to that because I didn't walk till I was almost 7.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So imagine that, being a kid and everybody running around and you just still trying to figure it out. I had a problem with my knees and they kept me from walking. But I made this for you.
Thank you.
Oh, it's
Thank you.
It says God is great.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mel.
You're welcome. And
I
thank you
can't
for
wait to receive it.
This is Bertina. Hey, Pam. I had to chime in when I heard it was you. I said, wow, I got to chime in because that's Pam. We go back, like you said, when our girls were in kindergarten.
Yes,
And that
yes.
our children kind of connected us. And now let me know she is a beautiful woman. A beautiful woman of God. We've been knowing each other for quite some time. And I got a little story. I don't know if you remember this. We were at Woodbury and we were at a parent meeting or something. It was nighttime and somebody had backed into our car. We came, I said, somebody backed into our car. And there was a little note that was her Mary Kay. I said, wow. That story said, I mean, she could have got away with it.
Oh.
It's a testament to her character, what a beautiful woman she is. But she left a little note, and it wasn't, you know, severe damage. But she left. I mean, I always did that. That just stayed with me. Her character. She could. Some people just keep on going.
Bertina, there is absolutely no way I could be your neighbor, be your friend,
hit your car,
and keep on going. There is no way I could have done that.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, oh, beautiful. But Pam, that stayed with me. And that's a testament to your character. and who you are. You're a wonderful woman. Love you.
Praise God. Love you too.
Hey, Pam. This
Hey,
is
Lois,
Rhonda.
how are you?
Oh.
Rhonda?
Hey, thank you so much for being a neighbor. And then we became business partners and friends. And I just appreciate having you in my life. Thank you so much.
Same here. Same here. Same here.
I just want to say the phenomenal describes you exactly. You're a phenomenal woman. And it was so good to hear your story. God bless you and keep on going.
Thank you, Lois. Thank you, Lois.
Thank you, Pam. This is Calvin. Thank you very much for sharing your story. I just love it.
You are so welcome. Thank you.
Pam, this is Al. I just want to say I'm really appreciative to hear everything that you had to say. And keep on doing what you're doing.
Shall do. Shall do. Thank you.
Pam, I just want to say, I remember when I had not long before started working at the library, and you came in to get a library card. And I remember I got a really extra special evaluation because of your allowing me to help you with filling out the application. My supervisor watched how, because there were some you were still at that point having a little difficulty with writing. And, you know, we worked and filled it out together. And, you know, yeah. And I remember meeting you, and you were someone I didn't, you know, when we fill out that kind of paperwork, we're not really supposed to read what we're filling out. So I didn't really know who you were at that point. But I knew you were a young person, and you told me you had had a stroke. And at that point in my life, I didn't think that people under the age of 60 had strokes, you know? And so you were a person that was on my prayer list and just helped me be able to be more patient and cognizant of people needing extra help. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I remember that.
Hi, everybody. This is Linda from Whyte. Everybody doing well?
We're good.
Excellent. As Pam mentioned, we've known each other for many, many years, and I was a resident in here for 37 years. And my family moved to Ludgate when I was 16, and my parents, Crosby and Viola Flournoy, were very active in the Moreland Community Association. And as time went by, I saw Pam's growth and how she was able to bring people together. I saw it in our Spelman Alumni Association, and I saw it in the community. Pam does not meet strangers, and she's the kind of person that will reach out and touch you, and you know that you have been touched by someone special. I can speak to her leadership abilities. I can speak to her abilities and her as a mom, as a homeowner, as a sister in Christ. But I can speak mostly as she is my sister friend. We already have plans that when we're in our 80s, I'll probably move back to Cleveland, and we'll be on somebody's front porch in a rocking chair going over our life. So I have also watched her tenacity. I used to always refer to Pam as the social networking queen. And that, I think that title still remains. She is the kind of person that you want to be in your corner. You want to promote your organization, and you want to know how to organize and, most importantly, maintain peace and harmony. So I just wanted to throw in my little 2 cents here from Washington, D.C. I love you, Pam.
I love you. I love you. Thank you.
Hey,
Oh,
Pam.
and I'm the godmother for children.
Nice. Oh, very
Pam,
nice.
this is James. Just
Hi.
hello. Just wanted to say your story has been extremely motivational. And I think I can probably speak for everyone in this meeting that you have encouraged all of us. And so I just wanted to say thank you. God bless you. And Shayla, you have become a successful young lady. And my daughter Sarah here, she wants to come in the picture to say hello to you real quick.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing, Sarah? Good to see you. Good to see you.
So may God continue to bless you, Pam, and continue your ministry.
God bless you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello, Pam. I'm
Hi, how are you, Sharon?
Hi. I'm your neighbor on Menlo, and I look forward to meeting you face to face one day soon.
Yes, we have got to do that.
Okay.
Wonderful. Hi, Sharon.
Hello.
And I see Shayla there.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. All the best to you. All the best to you.
You did great, Mom.
Hi,
Love
Princess.
you.
Thank you.
Hi.
That's
Hi, Pam.
one
This
day
is
we'll-
Shirley.
Shirley.
Thank you so much for having been truly blessed. And we've been having conversations about ministries for at least, since the beginning of the first year. This is confirmation. I just want to say, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and may his face shine upon you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shirley.
Now, is
You're
your
welcome,
son here?
sis.
Your oldest son?
Stacy is here. I see him. You want to come off mute?
I'm sorry. Hey, Ma.
Hey. You are in the car?
No, I'm in my office. I'm
Hello.
about to head home to the family. I had to wait for it's irrelevant. Yeah. I wanna second everything that everybody else said. You're awesome sauce. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being you. I can't think of anything that I could say about you that everybody else doesn't already know. But you're a blessing. You're a blessing to me. You're a blessing to everybody you come in contact with. So
God bless you.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you. I love you.
Thank you for being on. Awesome sauce. That was great.
Oh, how
Hi. This is Sharon. This is Pam's baby sister.
Oh, nice.
And I just want to say that she is my shero. I've had an opportunity to see firsthand just her growth and watching her through her stroke, and just she is the person that I aspire to be when I get old. So everything that everyone said about her is, I put an exclamation point behind it, because she is definitely an inspiration. She does not meet any strangers, and I'm just blessed to have her as my sister. So congratulations, sis. It's well overdue.
Ditto. I'm blessed to have you as a sister as well.
I love you.
I love you.
Hi, my Pam. I just wanted to chime in. How are you?
Hey,
I'm
Shalina.
Shalina, everybody. Hi. Oh, my Pam. We have so many great stories, so much history together. I am so proud of you. I love you, my Pam. You did an amazing job. I share your story with so many people, especially people who have had strokes. And I just encourage them to tell them. And I'm like, I got this friend, her name is Pam, and she got the same thing, but she don't let nothing stop her. So I'm just excited for you. And I'm so glad that you, my friend, and I'm so glad that I get to share your story with others who have that's in your journey, and let them know and encourage them that they can do it. And it's only the limit that they put on themselves. But you definitely are an inspiration. I love you, and I am so proud of you.
I love you and I thank you. I thank you for being in my life. I am blessed with some great, great friends.
Hello, Miss Pamela.
Hey, Christine.
How you doing, baby girl?
I'm doing well.
Well,
Doing well.
look, first of all, I'm gonna have to say this. You sent me that invite. I didn't know which Pamela it was. I said, okay, a Pamela is sending me an invite. I don't know who this Pamela is because I know two other Pamelas. So what I did was I set my alarm on my clock on my phone today for 6 o'clock. And when I realized it was after 6, I said, oh, let me go over here and check who this Pamela is because I don't know who this is. And when I got on here, girl, I was so glad it was you. I am so happy. First of all, that is definitely a testimony. And second of all, I knew you were special when we met face to face in Ohio. Okay.
Wow.
And I'm gonna have to say, like your sister said, you're my shero. I love you. Definitely. I love you. You are amazing. Definitely
Praise God.
amazing. And I love your testimony. And
Praise.
everybody needs to hear that testimony. It's a great testimony. I love you so much. Pam, keep doing what you're doing, honey. Okay.
I love you and I thank you. I thank you.
Okay.
Pamela knows that I'm not going to leave this Zoom without telling this story. Okay, I'm so excited. First of all, Pamela, I am so grateful that God had our paths cross. When I first met Pamela, one of our other friends was introducing us, and she had on this black sheath dress. She has these Angela Bassett arms. She's gorgeous and beautiful. I was like, take me to her. I want to meet her. I want her to be my friend. I want to be her friend. And we did become fast friends. I forgive you for not joining my Mary Kay team first. But it is all good. It's all good. God knitted our lives together. And I want to leave this word from your ears to everyone else's ears, to God's ears, that this is your year, that the ministry that has been living inside of you, this gift that he gave you, that he knew he can entrust you with, is to come forth in 2022. I shared with Pamela that this is the first of many, many speeches and speaking engagements that she's going to be invited to and that she's going to be a part of. So, Pamela, congratulations on your first speech of your ministry and your journey into God's gift to you. I love you, my sister. It is on, and today is the beginning, a new beginning, another new beginning. I love you, sis.
Love you. I love you. And blessed that you didn't just say, get away from me, you and took me under your wings anyway.
I love you too much for that. I love you. Just I really do admire you so much. You all, to see her transformation. You know, we hear her story, but to actually see her transformation, her breakthrough, and all that she was going through, this is your breakthrough in 2022. It's going to be another beautiful testimony to watch it unfold.
Amen. Amen. I receive that.
Beautiful. I don't know what else to say. This is just wonderful. Such a blessing for us.
Thank you.
Being here with us this evening. Thank you so much, Pam. And thank you, everyone, for all of your words.
Thank you.
We are usually saying that it's time to wrap up, time to go, but we had to take time. It was very important for us to be together this evening. So thank you for your gift to us, Pam. And we're going to stay tuned. You know, we're all in contact with each other. And so we'll support one another. And so we will do what we can to, help you out. So keep us in mind too, with all these people who surround you. And thank you. So, witness to history. is something, again, that we do with our Moreland neighbors. And I am always looking for our next guest. I do know who our next guest is for February, who's online with us this evening. Do you mind me mentioning who it is? We did hear that we'll be together the first Sunday of February, not the second Sunday of February, and that's fine. Please jot down my number. Send me an email if you're interested in being a guest in 2022. I have a few people lined up at this particular time, and that makes me very excited. But we can hear from all of you. Everyone has a wonderful story, and we get to know each other so much better on Witness to History. Thank you again, Pam, and thank you everyone for being here this evening. And I don't know if you saw all of these wonderful comments in the chat. Christine Clausen's comment is amen. Amen. Thank you all. Have a great evening.